Hello everyone, TLSG here, and today we're going to be running a Hawk deck. And the reason that we're running this Hawk deck is this was navigated by a user named Galore Toucan in a recent SnapBattleArena Tournament, so a 128 player tournament, and they were able to navigate this all the way up until the finals. They did lose in the finals to a Thanos list of all things. There were some RNG elements involved. W is also a fantastic player. He's the one that was running the Thanos and was able to win. But this one I think is a little bit easier to navigate. I feel like W's list is very high skill capped. It's very hard to pick up. This one is a little bit more straightforward, a lot easier to navigate. So the main idea with this list is we are looking to get value. We're looking to clog the opponent to stop their big on reveals with our Cosmo and just cheat out more power through Zabu and Sera than the opponent can keep up with. We also have our counter cards, so the Shang and Enchantress. So if the opponent has their own big plays, then on the last turn we can do a Hawk plus an Enchantress, a Hawk plus a Shang-Chi. If we have both Zabu and Sera, we can do Hawk, Shang-Chi, and Mystique to really impact the entire board state. You might say something about the opponent having a wave, but in Conquest, once you realize the opponent has the wave, you can play your cards differently, and you probably shy away from Sera at that point, knowing that that is an option. But we're going to be jumping into a gold Conquest right away. We have the puppy cam running in the background. You guys seem to like it. The subscriber numbers have actually shot up quite a bit since we started in the puppy cam, so it may be here for a while. We're going to jump straight in. Thank you guys as always for being here. I hope you guys enjoy. All right, first up we have Mike. We have Luke Cage teched in for any kind of negative locations and for affliction decks. We want to be able to combat against Cyclops, against Wasp, against all of those negative high evo affliction decks. We have the Killmonger because, ooh, we lost our Mystique, but they lost a Spectrum, which I would not have expected seeing the Nebula come down. Interesting. Okay, so we lost our Mystique. We can't go incredibly high roll, but I think we're okay. The armor comes down. So it's an ongoing deck, but they have Nebula in instead of another one-cost card. Kind of wild. All right, let's go Rock Slide in the left lane. Next turn, maybe we go Korg plus Iron Lad. Iron Lad has some pretty good potential pools here. He can get Hawk, he can get Luke Cage. Sera's also decent. We do draw into our Hawk. So I don't think they're going to have Shang-Chi. I don't think they're going to have Enchantress. I do think they'll have something like a Professor X lock that we have to be cautious of. But otherwise, I think we're okay. We're combating against a potential Destroyer on turn 6, knowing that they don't have the Spectrum. I'm going to go ahead and snap into this. The Quantum Realm becomes kind of difficult for them to fight for, and if we can get enough power in the sewer system, or if they take initiative before that point, maybe we can Shang-Chi their Destroyer. I don't know. We'll see. They do start splitting, and they do Captain America in the left lane. Interesting. Okay. I see your Captain America. Enchantress is, ooh, not there. Ooh, anywhere but there. My goodness. Okay. We could do Iron Lad. Iron Lad could hit our Sera for us. It could hit Killmonger, could hit Cosmo, could hit the Luke Cage. Let's do that on the last turn as a last stitch play. I'm going to do Enchantress into mid. We're going to take out the armor, the Mr. Fantastic, and then they're going to be left with whatever this was here. And so a Destroyer definitely isn't going to be possible. Maybe this is an Iron Man. Professor X is big for him. We have no way to fight for that location now, right? We can't overcome it. We have the Hawk, but we can't overcome it. We have initiative, so we're actually going to have to retreat out of this one. I wish we could steal the 8. I wish we had like a Jeff and we could right-size this location and just win the point differential, but we don't. We just don't quite. We don't have that built in. Unfortunate Enchantress placement when the Professor X came down, but it was only for 2 cubes. Could have been a lot worse. They didn't snap until they knew that that was successfully going to lock, so it could have been worse for us for sure. So Asgard could be pretty interesting. Let's go Zabu. Then we'll go Rock Slide to add some disruption. We have Enchantress. Clintar is really tough for them. They can't fight for that without losing their cards. And so I think we're probably favored here. The Nebula is still kind of wild. In a Spectrum, I assume Spectrum Destroyer ongoing deck. Now Quantum Realm comes up once again, which is crazy. You don't see back-to-back locations very often. We do in this case. We're going to go ahead and play Rock Slide into Asgard. Huge value for us. We're going to add some disruption to their draw, make it a little bit clunkier for them to find ways to play. And Cosmo comes down, and so that could eventually be a destroyer lane. We want to make sure that they don't get their resources, if at all possible. Let's go Korg and then Hawk in mid. We should get Mystique, and so we could use that in either one of these lanes to copy. Let's go with this. I think we should be fine. As long as Hawk is the last card we play here, I think we get a lot of value. I do go with Warpath, but we are going to be able to outscale it with the Hawk play. We do get our Mystique. We also get Iron Lad. Shang-Chi is not going to be much value for us. Mystique in the left lane or Mystique in the Quantum Realm. I think we have to play it into Clintar. Is where I feel like we need to play it. Now they may go Professor X into the Quantum Realm potentially, but I feel like it makes more sense for them to go here. And they do. Beautiful. We get the retreat. We get the fast retreat at that. Let's see if we can continue that and continue that trend. I did attempt a couple of days ago, I did attempt to run an ongoing Spectrum Destroyer buff deck. It was very inconsistent. Like, I could win some battles, but it was very, very back and forth. It was very tough to win those battles. Now, they do have the Mr. Fantastic. So Sanctum Sanctorum would be theirs. And there's not much we could do about it. So if we notice the snap, and it doesn't look like we can win these two, then we would definitely need to tuck tail and run. Nothing for the first 2 turns. We now have Cosmo, which allows them to do an easier destroyer. Mindscape is unfortunate. Let's go Killmonger. Next turn we go Hawk and then Mystique. Never mind about the Killmonger play. Oof, that's unfortunate. Let's go Hawk. Mystique in Throne Room after that. Mystique and Zabu. We'll give them some resources, but nothing huge. We're still really worried about the Mr. Fantastic. If they draw into or they have Mr. Fantastic, there's just not much we can do to combat it unless we focus on the Enchantress instead of the Mystique here, which doesn't feel good. It's not anywhere near as much power. It's a lot more lackluster. It is what it is. We have to do it. I don't want to, but it's what we got to do. That's the only way we have a shot in Sanctum Sanctorum, and I don't think we can overcome both of these lanes. I think it becomes too iffy. And they haven't snapped. If they do, we probably retreat here. But if they do a ooh, okay, armor. And then what else do you have here? Captain America. I will take all of those, and Enchantress says, never mind. And so we do get the lead back in Mindscape tentatively. They get Cosmo, Iron Lad, Mystique, Zabu, and Shang-Chi. We have to remember those cards. Oof. This is Shang-Chi bait all over the place. So if they Shang-Chi, 3/3/3, ooh. We could do this instead. Shang-Chi Zabu takes this one out. Warpath becomes the highest power card. Yeah, he goes to 18. This goes back down to 5. They do Shang-Chi, that takes this one out. We have 10, they have 11. They do Shang-Chi plus Zabu, this brings them to 10. This brings us to 11. So it should be a tie. Should be a complete tie. Could have calculated it wrong, but it should be. It should be. Okay, Zabu, yep. Yep. Complete tie. A little sad that they did that line, but it's better than losing 2 cubes. We will take it. Okay, Hellfire Club stops our Korg, stops our Nebula, but otherwise we're pretty much unimpacted there. Okay, great. So Nebula in mid, they do have that. We have our Zabu. We can always throw an Iron Lad on 3 to get some value. And we have our Shang-Chi as well. So I think we go ahead and snap into this. We have our Sera, we have Mystique, we have Iron Lad, we have Zabu. We have some pretty big plays. We have to watch out for the Professor X lock, of course. We have to watch out for the Iron Man. But Iron Man, a lot of that's very, very curve heavy. In the version that I was attempting to run, I cut the Iron Man for a couple of other lower cards. I get why it's there, though. Wow, Elysium is wild. Just Iron Lad? Is that what we do? Just Iron Lad? Next turn we can Sera, and then we have some flood possibilities. Next turn they could Professor X lock. Cosmo. I was playing away from there, and then the Cosmo comes in and absolutely bombards us. They do have Ant-Man. It's weird that they played it. I would have probably saved it because it's 0 cost, so there's no reason to like necessarily play it out. Cosmo is huge here. We have initiative as well. I'm gonna do Sera and Elysium. I think they Professor X that location. They don't. They do Hellfire Club, right? No. Okay. Mr. Fantastic on 4 is fine. They have 3 cards left. We have the Enchantress eventually. Luke Cage kind of scares me. All of our cards are 1, so we can't play over into... Oh, we can't play into Hellfire Club. We can't lose like this. We lost our puppy. Okay, so we get their Ant-Man. They could have gotten the Enchantress, Mystique, or Sera. We don't know which one. I'm going to go ahead and play Ant-Man into Daily Bugle, just because we can. And then we'll do like a Zabu, maybe? I don't think we stack in the lane. Danger Room is great for... Danger Room's great for their Professor X. They can also do Mr. Fantastic and reach that location. So we're going to take a little bit of a gamble here. And we're going to play Rock Slide there this turn. We want to, 1, add as much junk and disruption as we can. And then 2, we want to try to get something to stick before the Professor X could come down. And so nothing on 2 from them. Okay, so Rock Slide gets destroyed. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. We're going to try the Iron Lad. We're going to continue to just slap things in Danger Room and try to get them to stick. Now, the bad thing is just a Professor X in Atlantis and just a Sera. If they use the Spectrum, we cannot beat that. Not the way we want to showcase the deck. We were about even, so I'm not sure. Maybe their phone died. I don't know. I apologize because that is in gold. So Mike, I apologize to you, my friend. Not sure what happened. Not a lot I could do. I wish we could have played that one the rest of the way out. It was back and forth. I definitely wanted to win, but I definitely didn't want to win that way. Let's go ahead and take the cheap win in round 5 against Mike. Let's jump into the next one. See if maybe we can get a little bit easier of a match. Wow, that was fast. We have Buenos Dias. Running the multiple man avatar. Rickety Bridge is interesting. We don't have a way to fight for that location. Some of the other decks I've been running today did have ways to try to actively fight for Rickety Bridge, whether it be like a Claw, a Professor X. We don't have that built into this deck. Quantum Tunnel is kind of wild. Let's do Zabu. Then we're going to rotate the Rock Slide on 3. We have some really good outcomes. Some really good potential outcomes left in our deck. The Sera early would be beautiful. Ooh, the Master Mold. So is this a Ronin deck? The Moldy Ronin coming our way. Negative Zone is bad, or could be bad, but we do have Luke Cage built in, so we're going to go ahead and snap on him. Before this flips, before we see what it flips, I want to snap on him. Rock Slide, I'm hoping for Sera or Luke Cage, not necessarily Cosmo, because I do want to Shang-Chi them in the... I want to Shang-Chi their She-Hulk eventually. And so, but I do want to prioritize... Ooh, the Lady Sif? What kind of brew are you brewing, Buenos? You get the Sera, that's beautiful. All right, so they have the Infinite resummon with Ghost Rider, which is massive. We do have the Sera reduction, so let's go ahead and do Shang-Chi now. We'll rotate into something, we don't know what. Let's go ahead and use Sentinel because it's 1 cost. We can use that to destroy the Lady Sif lane. And then... we'll rotate 1 more card. We want to try and get another Rock Slide on him. So the Ghost Rider, ooh, the Ghost Rider resummon, but we are going to Shang-Chi in the Quantum Tunnel, so that's going back in our deck. We could potentially pull it back out again to take out the Infinite lane. Now we have Cosmo, so now if we flip into the Killmonger, it is unfortunate. Let's just hope that we don't. The Killmonger, the Shang-Chi, the Rock Slide, all of those are actually unfortunate. We go right back into the Shang-Chi of all things. That is so disappointing. The Cosmo coming out was unfortunate. They're going to have several cards in their deck. We're not going to have the Rock Slide, and I can't rotate. A Luke Cage could potentially save us here. Hawk, Mystique, Sentinel, and Luke Cage on that last turn. Wow. The Iron Man is wild here. They are wilding right now. Our Sentinel is safe right now in the Rickety Bridge. So if we can draw into Luke Cage, Iron Lad. So what if we did this? Enchantress to take out the Iron Man. That brings them down to 17. This will be 2, so it brings us up to 0. This is 10, so it brings us up to... We would have to get... It feels bad. That's 4 super early. That's winnable. That's unfortunate. The Cosmo into the immediate Shang-Chi pool. We should have played that more cautiously, knowing they had the Ghost Rider resummon. I should have only rotated 1 card when it was a Shang-Chi instead of 2. We got a little bit greedy. The Cosmo came out and absolutely just took us off guard. We were punished for greedy play. Okay, so the Nebula starting out is big. They have the Master Mold, some big end plays. I don't know exactly what they're running, to be perfectly honest. They're cooking some kind of cooking deck, and I wish they weren't. Yeah, I have no idea what they're running. We're in uncharted territory. I guess that feels terrible. The Sentinel feels terrible. All right, so we're down horrendously. We can still come back, but it's gonna take some doing. So we'd have the Enchantress against their Iron Man. So that's big, but just finding a way to use it could potentially be tough. Now we do get the Luke Cage. Not that they have any negative affliction. The last game with the negative zone, that could have been the difference maker, having that on the board. They get Master Mold again starting off. I have no idea what the rest of their cards are at this point. We're in just unknown lands. Like, I don't know anything about what they're running. I'm going to go ahead and Cosmo. They do a Maximus so that our hand remains full. The Cosmo comes down in the right lane. Let's do our Iron Lad. They already have 9 here. Let's do Iron Lad in this lane. They're going to do a Ronin at some point. I know that they're going to do a Ronin. And so, wait, the Lady Sif into the Cosmo is bold. So we copy Hawk with our Iron Lad. That's decent, depending on what they have. I'm going to do Zabu and Sentinel. On the last turn, we can do our Hawk plus a Mystique. Now, if they have a way to counter this, I don't know that we can do it. I'm thinking a Ronin is what they have coming down. Yep, the Ronin is big, and then the Iron Man, right? So they stole the initiative back. What if we slap them with a Enchantress, and then we steal and slap in a Hawk instead? Now, there's a couple of pieces to this. We don't know their deck. We don't know what they're doing. We don't know if they're going to go Iron Man or not. If they go Iron Man, this wins. If they go anything else, just like a high power play, She-Hulk, Chavez, something big, this is still going to be 7, 8, 9. That's 18. Do we beat the 18? 5 plus 12? We do not. We lose by 1 in that case. But they have to know that if we don't Enchantress, we can go big with like a Rock Slide and a Hawk. Let's hope this is the right play. I'm following my gut. Wait. What? Not even into the Nexus? Is this a bot? Am I getting bodied by a bot? Let's go ahead and jump into the next battle. We do have the Vault, so we would want to play our cards there early. They could park a Ronin in there on turn 5. That gets pretty big pretty quick. But we do have Rock Slide, so we could Rock Slide into the Hawk on 5. Master Mold again on 2. Every time I run a Master Mold deck, I never have it on curve. That's phenomenal. Sanctum Sanctorum. Is that good? Bad? I don't know. I kind of want to play the Sentinel this turn, but it's just going to give us an extra rock. A Living Tribunal deck is what we're going against. Super cook, my friend. If they get Ghost Rider to resummon the Living Tribunal, then we can't beat them in the Sanctum Sanctorum. I'm going to go Sera and hope that they don't have it, because if they can't play it here, then they won't be able to at all. Okay, so the Ronin. The Ronin we could potentially outscale, because on this last turn, we'll be able to flood quite a few of our cards on the board. This goes to 28, right? With an Iron Man, it goes to 28. 23. We can't beat him. Unless we did an Enchantress. It would have to be a super weird read of an Enchantress, like an Enchantress and Shang-Chi, to cover both scales or both sides of that spectrum. Or an Enchantress plus Hawk. That would bring them down to 14. We go up to 15. We still lose this left lane. Yeah, we can't do it. We'll let you have the one, my friend. All right, and so Kamar Taj. Master Mold, huge. Lady Sif for them. Ghost Rider for them. Maximus for them. All fantastic. We do have Korg, though, so we can add a lot of disruption. We have Korg and Rock Slide. So we're going to try to prioritize those as early as possible. Hopefully we draw Zabu. If so, then I'll snap here, and we'll put it all on the line. We'll risk it all. We'll go for broke. We don't, though. So we get Luke Cage. I'm going to do just the Luke Cage. They didn't have Master Mold on curve for once, which is beautiful. And I don't know that that's ever happened before. Let's go Killmonger. We're going to take out their 1/1 cost card. We are going to take out our Korg as well. I guess their curve was really bad. I don't know. If we get another disconnect 6 rounds in, I mean, we'll take it. Ooh, Quantum Tunnel is big, right? As long as we don't get greedy, Quantum Tunnel is big. I mean, it's big for them too. They have a lot of high power plays. But I think if we play it slowly, we should be okay. Let's do the 1 for now. They rotate a Sunspot. Wow, they had a Sunspot. Into a Maximus, which does draw our Shang-Chi. That's what I was worried about flipping here, was the Shang-Chi. And so we're okay now. We could do the Rock Slide. We're still worried about Cosmo. We're not worried about Cosmo anymore, my friends. So do we free flip? No. We might flip into Enchantress if we do. Let's do Luke Cage. On 3, we're going to do Rock Slide. And we're just going to try to continue to put rocks and junk in their deck every single turn. That way, potentially their flips are bad outcomes. The Iron Man is not a bad outcome, though. Now, if we flip into our Enchantress, beautiful. We're not drawing anything here, though, which is the scary part. White Hot Room. Do we ever try to flood that one? I don't think we do. We could do 3. It'd take until turn 5 to cap it out. So we're going to continue the rotation. I think we get more value there. The Master Mold coming in with the Sentinels over and over and over again. Okay, so Enchantress into this left lane is going to be massive now. We just have to get a good flip is all that it'll take. Okay, Hawk is fine. We are fine with Hawk so far. Every time we rotate a Sentinel, though, it's bad. Because it doesn't give us any value back in return. Let's go Cosmo. Cosmo rotation? No, we learned our lesson. I'm going to go Killmonger rotation. Next turn we can go Sera. And then the last turn we could try to maybe flood some stuff. But we're looking for an Enchantress in this left lane, specifically. Okay, She-Hulk. Hopefully they flip into Ghost Rider. That would make my day. A rock. Oh, and then we destroy the rock immediately. Well. And they hit us with the cheeky fist bump, or the cheeky thumbs up, so let's go ahead and hit them with one back. I usually don't emote right back, but they just lost their Iron Man and their Living Tribunal, which is tough. We lost our Hawk, though, which is even tougher. Oh, no. That's bad. That's bad. I take back my fist bump. Buenos, I apologize. We don't fist bump there. Let's play the Sera. Sera and Prage. So they resummon the She-Hulk. We do have Shang-Chi in hand. They cycle their... Oh my god. All of the Sentinels. This is a Sentinel army. So... what do we need to overcome the left lane? A lot, right? We need 8 in the left lane to overcome that. This gives us 4 Sentinels back in our hand. Or 4 cards in our hand. So that would be a Ronin of 8, 9, 10, 11, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We lose. Every single time here, we lose. Very fortunate. Very fortunate. Xandar saved the day. All right, here we are with battle number 3. It's been a long time since I've made it to battle number 3. I'm going to be completely honest. I haven't been playing at the top of my game. Maybe I'm a little bit tired. Maybe I'm a little distracted. Maybe we just don't have the right feeling for each of these decks that we're trying to run. But we are here now. A lot of luck went into it. One opponent got DC'd. One opponent got very unlucky with their last turn, what they had in hand, I'm assuming. And the location of Xandar backstabbed them. It all accumulates into this final battle. Let's see if we can finally hold down another Infinity ticket. It has been so long. Holy moly, it has been 30 years. I have aged since we set up for that queue. That was a 6-minute queue to cap out a very long evening, you guys. Just trying to finish off this brew while everyone's asleep. And it's 4 a.m. So the first thing that they play is a Time Stone. And so we do have the Korg, so beautiful disruption from our end. We do have the Rock Slide. We'll be able to use on 4. Unfortunately, we don't have the Zabu to help enable it. That's all right. They go with Jean Grey. So a Jean Grey Thanos list. Interesting. The only thing we have to play on 3 is Mystique, unfortunately. We'll do Rock Slide on 4, Sera on 5, and then we'll be able to kind of play around and flood from there. But we want to prioritize the Rock Slide, the Sera reduction, and then we will be able to do at least 2 cards on the last turn, unless they do Wave. Wave would be detrimental. Wave would be very detrimental. Maybe we get an Enchantress and we can take out the Mojo, the Jean Grey, and just really what they're wanting to do here. Okay, so armor, they can get a free Professor X lock in the left lane, and there's nothing we can do about it. Feels bad. When that pops and when that works, it works. But it's like, if we were running a Thanos list, then all of a sudden that doesn't really do much as far as restricting us. Okay, so the Lockjaw into the Power Stone into the Soul Stone. Just a Dream is cooking up something. They're cooking up something for sure. All right, so they have 10 in deck. Ooh, that's huge. The Hawk, the Zabu. I think we snap into it. I think we try and get them early. So they will get the Mojo bonus in mid. They'll get the Mojo bonus. I mean, they could try to counter this. Maybe they have a Super Scroll, which would absolutely decimate us here. We'll see. We'll see what they go with. No rotation in the left lane. Interesting enough. We had initiative going into this, so we should have initiative going out of it. A Shang-Chi absolutely destroys us here as well. Spectrum. Spectrum is not going to do it, my friend. You have a Cook and Cook. Thankfully, you did not get very many stones to draw your cards, so we were able to capitalize. Otherwise, this was a lot of power. 21, especially when we were restricted to like 1 per turn. You guys, it feels good to get an early lead. It feels good to get an early lead. I'll leave it at that. Shuri's Lab would be pretty big for the opponent. Actually, they don't really have a lot of high base power, right? So a Professor X, I imagine, is in the deck. Maybe even like a Valkyrie and some other like kind of crazy plays. Hopefully we're fine. Hopefully. We top deck Zabu here? Zabu would be. All right, so we're going to go ahead and skip here. I assume we know a good amount about what the opponent's running here. Okay, Reality Stone into the Bifrost. So we are going to push our cards here. We have the Killmonger to take out a lot of their 1-cost cards. So that is going to be good. Let's go ahead and play. I'm just going to play Cosmo into the right lane. They're all going to get pushed around. We're just going to play it over into the right lane. Now the Loot Cage comes down. We have a Loot Cage of our own, so the Soul Stone's not an issue here. Let's go Iron Lad and see what we hit. We do have the Killmonger. I assume they want to keep their 1-costs on the board. We have Killmonger, so we're going to go Iron Lad, see what we hit. They snap back. Professor X, they can't do Professor X yet. They haven't done the Time Stone. And so we'll see. We'll see what they're leaning in on. if they have a Professor X. I don't even know if this is a lockdown style deck. Okay, the Ant-Man still leans into like a Zoo style, and we do hit the Sera. Beautiful. If I was going to be gambling with a big cost reduction, we can handle that. We have the Loot Cage, so eventually the Soul Stone won't be an issue, and we're going to kill it with Killmonger anyways, so it's definitely not going to be an issue. We have some really low cost cards now. We can do a second Sera to get just play whatever we want on the last turn, really. Let's go Sera here. Do we go ahead and do Loot Cage? I mean, all of our cards are going to be at least 2. Yeah, let's go ahead and do Loot Cage, and we'll see what we draw into on the last turn. We may be leaning very... Ooh, they do have a Professor X, interestingly enough. Okay, let's see. We'll see if we're able to hold it down. They don't have a lot of power here. We don't have a lot of anything, though. They have initiative. I think we're going to rely on this. Killmonger to destroy these two. I don't know what kind of deck they're running, but I'm willing to risk it all here. The Iron Man? Okay, that's only going to hit the Loot Cage, so that's only going to be like 4. So unfortunate, but that is how this is going to end. Not with a bang, but with a Killmonger. We will take it. That clears a lot of their right lane. Fortunately, they just weren't able to hold it down, especially against Thanos list. Hawk lists are definitely tough to navigate, and so we do come down with the Enchantress as well. We're going to give them a fist bump back in return. That is another Infinity ticket, finally. Hallelujah. I hope that you guys enjoyed the video. We will be back tomorrow with another one, but I'm going to get some sleep. Then I'm going to edit this. It'll be posted, and we'll be back fresh next time around. But congratulations to Galore and W for getting so far in the tournament. The second and first place finishers. Congratulations, very well deserved. Again, if you guys want to see it, in the description down below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a like and comment down below. As always, this has been TLSG. Later, guys.